How's it going, guys? So, since episode number 3, we've had quite a few upgrades. I didn't go around and show me buying things like my T99 curse and stuff because it's not exactly interesting. However, that's what we have got so far. So we've managed to get our first T99 curse, the Affliction one, which is for magic. And then I've also managed to put my perks onto my Inquisitor's staff and upgrade them as well. Also, we've bought some Blast Diffusion boots. This is for Telos to charge my detonate really quickly and makes doing phase 5 a hell of a lot easier. And really, other than that, we've managed to repair our tectonic top, and we've put a new perk on that as well. We've got biting 2 and mobile, which makes Telos a lot easier as well. So as you can probably tell, a lot of the upgrades have been focused on me trying to actually improve at Telos and be able to get like consistent kills there. And the reason being is I feel like that's going to be a boss that's going to be really important for me to be able to do to catch up in the way of gold and getting the gear that I need to be able to be ready for God Wars Dungeon 3 on time. However, that doesn't mean that the rest of this series is going to be just Telos. There's still going to be a lot of learning on other bosses. I've still got ED2 and 3 to do, plenty more AOD to learn, and just other stuff in general as well. I haven't even touched Virago, so that's going to be a boss that we need to look at as well. So the first thing we're going to do is see if we can improve at Telos and see how far we can push our enrage and just see whether this gear makes all that much difference straight off the bat. So the kill you are watching now is actually probably my 4th kill since starting after getting my gear upgrade. The reason being is because when I started my recording, I didn't realise that my hard drive was full, as this records to my SSD, and I had no space left. So when I started the recording, it instantly killed itself off after about 30 seconds, and I didn't even notice until probably about an hour later when I looked in the top right corner of my screen and noticed that my recording wasn't going. But this is a 200% increase in speed kill, and it's just phase 5. But as you can see, quite a lot of my mechanics have improved quite a bit. Not only that, this gear that I've got with the perks and this staff is absolutely amazing. Not to mention the T99 curse makes such a difference. So I'm really glad that I went down the road of investing in that, because it makes the kills a hell of a lot easier and I'm enjoying this boss so much more. But there's still a lot for me to learn. It took a lot of deaths for me to get here, and even though you see my mechanics being quite a bit better, I do still have quite a lot to perfect. So hopefully we can push our enrage a fair bit further. Hopefully we can get past 400%, which we're not far off, but let's make that our goal for this video, to at least get past 400% and then see what else we can do with the boss. This was it. This was the kill that we managed to reach 400% enrage on Telos. I was pretty proud of myself, to be honest. Now, I know 400% really isn't all that impressive, but for myself, this is something that I have really been trying to do, pushing my enrage as far as I can and seeing if I can actually get anywhere near that 500% mark that everyone seems to go for the Warden title. So getting this far and actually even past it just makes me feel like that Warden title isn't too far out of reach. I do still use quite a lot of food, but I am learning quickly on how to reduce that, and we'll be there in no time. And of course, as always, if you do have any tips, then watch these clips back, share them with me, really do appreciate it. After finally dying way too many times at Telos and realising that it might be worth taking a break, I decided to go and do some necks. Now, when I did necks, I actually went with someone from my Discord to do a duo run, and by all means, if you guys want to do something like this as well with me, then jump in my Discord, and if we find a time that suits, then by all means I'll be more than happy to do a duo run or even a trio if everybody's interested in that. But with Waza from my Discord channel, These kills were a hell of a lot quicker. I'm pretty sure he carried me through the hour, and I really didn't do all that much DPS, but I'm not going to complain because we did end up making around about 9 to 10 mil, I think, over the course of maybe 2 hours. We didn't really get any good loot. The first hour we got loads and loads of bolts. The second one we got loads and loads of stone spirits. So I think the first hour was his luck and the second hour was my luck. But we haven't got a rare drop yet. I'm sure we'll get one in the future. But so far we've just got a bit of cash, but it all adds up. But of course, I'm not going to end the clip on something like, I didn't get any loot, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, Wazza, sorry to say. I literally went to Nex for another hour by myself, probably a little while after you hopped offline, and I got Torva Boots solo. So, unfortunately, you did just miss out on that one, but we got a good 20 mil there, and that definitely helps us out because we have a lot of stuff we need to buy. Boss and supplies are running low, and I'm pretty sure my Sirenic needs repairing. At the risk of this video getting a little bit repetitive, I did end up going back to Telos after doing this next trip because I really wanted to see if I could do a bit of a streak and see if I could get any luck, and not only that, just see how consistent I could do kills. Now, it went alright. As you can see, I started getting kills and it wasn't too bad. I was starting to get a little bit confident in my kills and things were going pretty well. I had a feeling it was going to come to an end pretty soon, but then this happened. As you can probably imagine, I was absolutely buzzing to get this pet. Like, it's so early on. I think it was a 1 in 700 chance of getting it, and I went and got it at like between 110 and 120 kill count. So that is ridiculously lucky in my opinion, and I couldn't even believe it. I was in such a freaking buzz as soon as I got this, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments saying I don't deserve this pet this early on, but as true as that might be, I freaking got it and I'm happy as hell. The streak continued on for a couple more kills, and then we completely messed up on phase 3, and that swiftly came to an end. But that's not a problem. I was in such a good mood from getting the pet, it didn't bother me too much, and even getting this far was an improvement in my Telos, and we'll come back at a later date. One goal that I want to head and get is getting the Ritual of the Majrat, probably pronounced that wrong, quest completed, and I have a hell of a lot of requirements for it. I'm sure plenty of you have seen my quest points at 223, which is pretty embarrassing. I'm not bothered, but it's not that good, and to be honest, I've only done quests that I've absolutely had to do to make bossing possible, or even just get to places like Prif, but I do need to do a hell of a lot of requirements to get this quest, but it does give me a boost at Nex, for example, and it's definitely worth doing. So I need to do Wild Gothic Sleeps and a load of other stuff. I think these ones aren't too bad, but Wild Gothic Sleeps is going to be a big, massive quest to get towards. Luckily, I'm going to have all of the like skills and stuff as I was maxed before Archaeology, so it's just a lot of questing to do. So let's go ahead and do loads of these quests. We're just about to hand in the Eyes of Gloffrey, but during it I did decide that for this episode I'm just going to complete up to Wild Gothic Sleeps, because that's going to be a massively long quest and I want to get this episode up for you guys. So what we're going to do is tick off Wild Gothic Sleeps and all the requirements to that, and then we can move on to the other ones in the next episode. Well, there's the Eyes of Gloffrey done, and those puzzles were a freaking pain in the ass, but we did go through and get that done, and I'm really starting to worry that the next quest is also going to have these bloody puzzles in it. The Path of Gloffrey is completed, and of course it did have those bloody freaking puzzles in it, but we got them done, and now we can go on to Tears of Gothics. I'm pretty sure this one's an easy one. It took me so long to figure out that I had to use a freaking sapphire on my lantern to even be able to use those little glowy things, but this should be quest complete. There we go, and now we can go ahead and do Wild Gothic Sleeps. I just need to make a little bit of room for inventory spaces. I'm not too sure how many, but thank God this quest is done. It lasted so freaking long. There's the rewards, and hopefully we don't have to do another quest quite this long. It was a really enjoyable quest, don't get me wrong, but it just went on and on and on. And I also died to the freaking demons at the end because the guide that I used, he didn't actually come with food all the way to the boss fight bit. and then he suddenly cut to a scene where he had different armor and food on. So I tried it without using Soul Split, and instead I died and had to come back. But that's no problem, we got the quest done, and I actually feel great that it's done, because it's about time that I actually did some quests. Also, in case you didn't notice, the reason I've put all this into Magic is because I am so close to 120, and I'd quite like to get that cape. After getting all those out of the way, let's have a quick sort of recap on everything we've done in this episode. We have done quite a lot of Telos focused content and spent a lot of time learning Telos and trying to get our mechanics a bit better so we can push higher, and we did manage to push to about 417% I believe it was, which I am incredibly impressed with. We got the Telos pet, and I literally could not be happier on that pet drop, because that's probably the only pet I'm ever going to use now. We have done plenty of bossing, and we've also done bossing with someone from the Discord, and by all means guys, if you want to join in and maybe be in the next episode, jump in my Discord, the link will be in the description, and hit me up when we've got a good time or when I find the chance to actually do so, and I'll be more than happy to do that. But before we end the episode, there's one last thing I want to try and do. I want to try and see how far I can take a 0% Telos streak and see how high up we can go. We are just going to go and go and go and go. If we get quite a lot of money in it, we may claim it, as we do need quite a lot of GP at the moment, but we're going to see how far we can get and see if we get anything out of it. This should be quite interesting. Let's see if I don't die before 100%. I really hope not. That would be embarrassing, and hopefully we can push quite far. Finally, after reaching the 100%, it was time to take this a little bit more seriously and do our absolute best in phase 5 to not lose our streak. So far, so good. Our confidence was coming back and I was feeling quite absolutely alright with it. But then this phase 3 happened and holy hell did it go bad. One of my issues with Telos is as soon as I panic, everything goes wrong and it usually ends up in death. We somehow managed to pull through and we continued on with our streak. Thank God for that. So after the big streak, and I was quite impressed with it, even though it was still just below 200%, I went from 0 all that way without dying, and that's a massive improvement for myself. I feel like I probably could have gone further, but that 15 mil is going to be quite useful for myself, as Boston supplies and stuff are running quite low. So we have claimed it, and now it's time to sell off all the loot. So you will be able to see me now selling off all that loot, and it does end up adding up to quite a lot, but we'll get to see that in just a second. I really do appreciate you guys all watching. Hopefully you really did enjoy, and if you did, then as always, leave a like on the video so others get it suggested to them as well. And if you are new, then obviously consider subscribing, because I'll be continuing this on and I'm having a hell of a lot of fun, so this series won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, the total loot did come to just below 70 mil, but that's not everything that I do have. I actually have a little bit of extra just hidden away here in my alchemizer. So there's another 14 mil in there, and that brings us up to 82 mil altogether. And that is a massive jump from being below 10 mil just before I ended that streak. Obviously, I still had some loot in the bank, but everything has added up, and we're back up to a massive 82 mil, and that's absolutely amazing. So that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.